everyone, I'm Anna Donlin, and I'm the executive producer of Valorant.
And I'm Joe Ziegler, the game director.
First, we want to thank all of you for coming on this journey with us. All of you, even those of you that are still waiting to play, are the beginnings of a global community of players that we hope to serve for years or maybe even decades to come.
Your excitement for Valorant inspires us every day, and we've been looking forward to sharing this game with everyone.
So I'll get right to it. Earlier this year, when we revealed Valorant, we also announced a very aspirational launch date of summer 2020.
And we've been wanting to get you this game to help brighten these tough times. But as it turns out, we're not going to be launching this game in a few months.
Because we're launching it in a few weeks.
Vale. ¿Cuánto es una few weeks?
Oh.
El 2 de junio. ¡Ya de junio! ¡Hostia! Joder, pues vamos pronto.
Well, there's the big news. A June 2nd release date. Joe, Anna, this is exciting. Congratulations. That's a little yawn. You guys
Ostras.
have been working hard.
I was like shocked. I was like,
Oh, shock. Okay, shock. All right. Well, it was. You guys have been working so hard, though. I'm sure to like get this thing done in insane conditions. I think everyone saw the closed beta happen and was wondering, maybe come to the open beta, there'll be more. And the fact that you're releasing this globally on June 2nd, was this always the plan? Or I mean, I'm just amazed.
Pregunta si fue siempre el plan o si es algo nuevo.
Decision that June 2nd's the date.
yeah. So June 2nd was the plan. Like June 2nd was the
El 2 de
plan
junio era lo que pensábamos.
the world changed, honestly. And we were really excited about that date. But it all kind of came down to like how closed beta was going to go. What we were going to learn through that period of time. Closed beta could have been, it could have been really successful. It could have been really not successful. And so we didn't want to commit to any kind of dates. We just figured summer was loose enough that it would give us enough time to react to closed beta feedback. But then when everything kind of happened and all of a sudden we all found ourselves at home.
Que estaban con la beta viendo que no sabía lo que podía pasar, vaya.
Time, let alone June 2nd. So it's been a pretty crazy ride the last couple months.
Yeah, I mean, and a couple months also, couple years. I mean, Joe, I know this is something that you've been
Móvil,
after for many years, developing this project internally at Riot. Yeah. So how does it feel to you to find? I mean, it's finally happening.
Dice que lleva mucho tiempo, muchos años trabajando en esto y que finalmente pasa. Que han aprendido muchas cosas. ¿Os lo traduzco o suda la polla?
Probably more exciting than we ever thought it was going to be, in the sense where we never imagined this many people would actually be this interested. But we're super excited by the reception we've gotten so far. So it's been great.
Now, we know June 2nd, it's it's coming out. Obviously, you're going to kind of, sunset the beta, bring it back for launch here on June 2nd. You teased that there will be new content coming on June 2nd that sort of builds on the beta. We saw in the notes that were sent out that, you're going to potentially have some new agents, new maps. I think, you guys had originally talked about, sounded like 12 agents, 4 maps, 4 release. Like, can you give us a little bit of, I know there are lots of rumors out there about things that may or may not be happening in the near term. And obviously it's a live service game, so there'll be more things, coming online over time. But what can we expect that's going to be new on June 2nd when the servers light up again?
I mean, I'm waiting to find out too. It's like day by day right now.
Honestly, so originally we said there's going to be 12 agents, and we've actually shifted that back to 11 because one of them just didn't make the cut. Sometimes it'll be coming after, but sometimes we're just unable to do that. Is one of the complications of developing in this weird world that we live in right now. But the 11th agent that people are going to see on day one is definitely going to be an interesting one. And a little spicy potentially, so we'll see how people react to it. And you've already seen a little bit of a preview.
Que habrá algo para cuando lo saquen.
It's coming on day one.
Cuando dice de spicy, viene desde Riot, yo me echo a temblar.
But more details will come as we get closer to the launch. So.
Sabremos cositas a medida que se acerca.
Is there a rift opening to somewhere? I mean, it's like it feels like you guys are, the story is going to sort of, I think, live on here as the game evolves. But so sounds like at least a new agent and a new map for June 2nd we feel confident about?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then a bunch
Nuevo
of
agente,
content,
nuevo mapa para el
like,
día 2.
yeah, like we'll have a pass in there, which will have a
Día 2,
bunch
¿qué
of
tal?
content. We'll have a bunch of
El
new weapon
martes.
skins coming out. A lot of content that players
El
who
martes
have
que
been
viene,
in the
no al
closed
otro.
beta or watching the closed beta haven't seen yet. So that'll be
Okay.
that'll be cool.
All the
I will
more
say
reason to jump in.
if you've enjoyed the gun skins so far, you're going to be pretty happy with what we have coming in this launch package. It's going to be great.
One thing I know a lot of people are wondering about is also, you know, game modes like team deathmatch, things like that over time, like what you're, you know, I'm sure it's all on the roadmap at some point, right? And like you ask people on Twitter and everyone, you know, wants to know about the full length of when's it coming to consoles, this and that. And it's like, you're just getting through, I know, the initial launch here, but what is like your cadence of kind of updates? And I'm sure some of it will be based on community feedback, but like new game modes, is that something that's like near term, midterm, longer term? Like how do you sort of, you know, plan out what it's going to look like post launch, at least initially?
So breaking news, the current plan is to have one additional mode at launch. And I will
Ojo,
say
un modo
it is
nuevo al
coming
lanzamiento.
in, pretty hot. So I'm saying this on this day, and the hope is that it will be there. It'll be there on launch day. But we're going to release that one with a beta tag on it because we didn't get to test it during the closed beta. I think we want to give ourselves some time to see how it goes before we call it official, like second mode. But yeah, there will be a
solo hay un modo ahora
second
mismo.
mode at
Claro.
launch.
El mapa normal.
What type of mode we're going to get here?
¿Y qué hay que hacer? Matarse. Es un
Do you want to talk
duelo a
about
muerte,
it,
¿no?
Joe? Are we? I don't
5
know.
contra 5.
No.
A lo mejor
I'll mention a couple
al
things.
mejor
One of the
el que
things we
llegue
were
a
trying to
30
get
rondas
key
gana.
on was like
Pero
sort
hay
of
bombas,
having
¿no? ¿O no?
Claro.
a shorter mode
Vale,
that you
entonces
can
es un buscar y
play in
destruir de estos.
between the sort of more high stress, longer
Como el Counter
competitive
Strike,
matches
¿no?
that you're
Un
playing.
counter,
So
sí, un de
that's
activar
sort of
bombas.
one of the
Un
key
terroristas
things we're
contra
focusing with
contraterroristas,
it.
¿no?
Now,
Vale.
I don't want to ruin the surprise. So,
¿El nuevo modo será el de
players
capturar
play
la
on day
bandera o
one,
será el
pretty early
de
in
No
July.
se
sitio
sabe.
de la muerte?
All right, but
No se
shorter
sabe.
It is
session
not,
experience.
Hagan sus apuestas.
it is not team deathmatch. Like I think it's just fair to say that. Like,
Buscar
I
y
don't like to
destruir.
mask that.
El enemigo
It's
tiene la
not team
bomba.
deathmatch. It doesn't mean we're not looking at that as an option down the line, but that will not be the second mode that we release.
No, I gotta say, I think the fact that the date is so soon is surprising in and of itself, and I think some people would just be impressed if you were literally just, you know, taking the closed beta and tagging it as like, here's the game. But the fact that you're, you know, loading in significant new content here, with, you know, new mode, new map, new agent is a lot of stuff. Like that's a surprising cadence of all that coming out. Can you maybe talk about your roadmap of how you're thinking about kind of adding content, you know, to the game over time? Like you said, June 2nd was always kind of, you know, in your head as that's the date you wanted to hit. Do you have sort of the summer planned out already in terms of like, you know, new things coming online? Like, how are you thinking about, you know, adding stuff to the game over the next few months?
It's funny because like
Joe
Anna and
and I are looking at each other trying to figure out what we should talk about. We're just like,
Exactly.
I feel him
You don't have
like,
to-
he's like, we're trying to read each
Keep
other's
pushing.
minds.
we're literally looking at each other going like, what could we say?
I'm
here?
like trying to do like facial signals at him, like what's okay.
Well, part of it is, I think you guys, I admire how open you've been with the community too. And like, I think people know that like these things evolve, right? Over time. And like you said, like, you know, you talked about 12, it's like, oh, we're only 11 already. And it's not about hitting the number. I think it's about hitting the quality bar and the experience that fans want. And, you know, everyone, it's like when they get excited about a game like this, they just want more and more because they want to invest even more time into it.
I don't think I'm ready to commit to like a date of like when the next big content drop will be, because just committing to June 2nd was hard enough. Even today, committing to June 2nd is difficult. So, you know, we delayed this announce as long as we possibly could to make sure we were completely ready. But I would say you can expect content. You can expect another content beat in the summer. And, you know, we kind of joked internally about summer 2020 and like we ill-defined because we always knew it was June 2nd, which technically isn't summer. So I don't know that we're all that great with dates, but we're great at hitting our targets. And right now we definitely have a target that's during the summer that would bring some more content to the game.
I wanted to ask you about the beta experience for you guys, because building this in, you know, quarantine, shipping it, I mean, having the success that you did, what surprised you the most about the kind of response to the beta overall? Like, I mean, you know, you build these games in a little bit of you know, an incubator inside of Riot, and obviously, you know, play testing is a big part of it. but when you have that many folks experiencing the game, like what did you walk away? I mean, as this is kind of wrapping up now, as your biggest learnings from the closed beta?
There were a lot. There were a lot. I mean, our first surprise was how many people showed up. I mean, honestly, like I think we internally had kind of prepared ourselves. Like I remember we were having conversations about we'll be able to have healthy queues. You know, like we have enough players come in to keep our queue times low. You know, like that was literally our concern. And then almost immediately the concern became, how do we get all these players who want to try our game out, who have all this valuable feedback they want to give us that we absolutely need to prepare? How do we get them in? And then now we're in this situation where, you know, a quick phone call to, you know, our data center to get things set up is not as easy as it used to be. So I think it was kind of it was a perfect storm, but like in like the best and worst ways at the same time, because it was like, holy moly, everyone wants to play. This is awesome. I can't get them all in. What are we going to do? And so I think that was a really interesting and tricky part to navigate. Joe, you got something?
Yeah, I think definitely one thing I've learned is there's a thing we take for granted. I think having worked on League previously, is this idea that you communicate with your audience, you go back and forth with them, and you talk about the things that you want to accomplish, the things that you might break, the things that you're attempting to do. And that's very natural for us to want to do, you know, as developers at Riot. But what I found interacting with audiences is frequently they're surprised that we do that, especially audiences in this genre. And I really hope that they find value in that interaction that we have, because we're finding a lot of value in terms of actually being able to talk with them openly about things that come across in our game, things that happen, and getting information from them that helps us better improve the game. So I was just surprised at how much the players reacted to having that interaction with us, which is in a positive way, which has been great.
Yeah, and the fact that you guys have, you know, continued to build this, you know, everyone working from home. I mean, you guys probably haven't even seen each other in person in quite some time. I mean, what's it like developing this game in this way? Like, I think a lot of, you know, fans and gamers in general are like hopeful that, you know, it hasn't delayed games. Obviously, in your case, it hasn't, which is, I think, a tribute to the team and, you know, how quickly everyone pivoted. But like, what's it been like developing it kind of remotely? Like, has it slowed you down or no?
So I think it has slowed us down, but not in ways that have been like crippling. You know, I think that there's an emotional cost to this. I think a lot of us, I'm definitely one of those people that I've shipped a bunch of games, you know, and I'm used to running around the floor and like feeding off the energy of other people to know how we're doing. Like I can get a sense just from walking by someone's desk if we're okay, if we're off track. And I don't have that right now. None of us have that. We don't have those in-person kind of touch points where we can like see someone in the kitchen and ask a quick question or resolve a problem over lunch. Like we don't have that right now. So everything is more expensive to do from a communications perspective. What I will say is we called June 2nd as a team, not just like me as an EP or Riot, but we as a team, we called June 2nd a while ago as like the date we really, really wanted to hit. And this team has been waiting so long to get this game out the door and has been so excited for this moment that when we made our closed beta, when we hit that date and got that out and they saw the response and they saw a million things to fix that players found for us and helped us find, just watching them kind of like that spark in them at a time that could have been really demoralizing and like really hard, I think it reinvigorated them. I'm not going to say that it hasn't taken a toll. It's absolutely taken a toll. I feel it from them. I hear it from them. But if they didn't have this to look forward to, this
No están
moment,
diciendo mucho
I don't know if it would have gone as, you know, as well as it has. So I think, you know, they all probably thought I was crazy when I said we're still gonna target June 2nd. At no point did we say let's just move it down, or let's, you know, it was like, no, let's hit it until we can't.
No están diciendo mucha cosa llamativa, ¿eh? Estamos esperando a ver si dicen, si enseñan algo más, pero por ahora están hablando de cómo es el mundo, de lo bonito que es el mundo y todo eso.
Yeah, it's again a tribute to the team of what you guys were able to, you know, to put together. And as these live service games go, this is really only, you know, day one. And I know there's sort of, you know, so much that has to be, you know, built and tweaked with the community as you go on. in my Twitter feed, a lot of people wanted to talk about, Vanguard and kind of understand that. And I know it's something that is probably a frequent question that you get about that. Maybe since, this is a wide audience and you can talk a bit about it, like maybe just give us the philosophy of like anti-cheat, why that's important and what that does and why that's needed, and just give people kind of an explanation, because I think there's a lot of kind of like misinformation out there as well about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I think the most complicated thing about anti-cheat is people think, the most common misperception I would say I come across with anti-cheat is people think it's a one and done deal. Like you can create a wall that protects all cheats from coming in. But cheat creators are fairly sophisticated. They're pretty intelligent people, and so when challenged, they tend to iterate just like game developers do on the software that they're making. And so part of anti-cheat is creating a baseline that lets you continuously evolve your anti-cheat efforts on top of it. I would say our team is doing an excellent job staying on top of the problem and continuing to fight, but it's a long war we're going to be in as long as we're a service. And the best thing we can do is constantly stay vigilant and respond as fast as we possibly can. And we've learned to definitely do a lot more of that as we've gone along. Now, Vanguard as a specific anti-cheat solution is one we took that's slightly more aggressive than other solutions that exist, but it's because cheats these days can occur at almost any layer of programming inside of your machine.
Yo todavía no sé si estas cosas se las hacen en directo o no.
Or the system basic level, or all the way up to a surface level. And so we want to make sure that we're creating a system that can prevent those cheats at every level from coming in and disrupting the game and disrupting the fairness of the game.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things that, as you said, like in order to get at the cheater, you obviously have to go, right to the core sometimes, because that's how they get in. And it's, I know some people, have, they're precious about their machine and sort of like what access a game gets. But it sounds like one of those things where you said it's like
balance nada, tocar el kernel no.
You want to keep it fair, so you want people to feel like you're not invading them in some way.
Exactly, and we've done a lot of work to make sure that invasion is definitely not happening. We're not taking any data from their machine. We're just monitoring things that could be invasive to the game cycle. And so the actual anti-cheat system doesn't report actually anything back to us from the user's machine. It just simply is there to monitor for the purpose of the game. So
yeah, no, well, it's one of those things. It's everyone cares so much because they're playing the game, and lots of people are installing it and playing it. And obviously, it's going to lead to, I think, some amazing, competitive moments, I think, throughout the summer as well, because, everyone's hopefully on level playing ground.
I do think it's a controversial approach. I mean, we've definitely seen it, right? Like we're not blind to the conversations that are going on around it. We've been very transparent about it, and we've been very honest about it. And, I think a lot of people have been questioning some of the articles we've put out or the different talking points we've had around this. I would just say, like, everything that we're publishing, we've been a very transparent team so far. We want to be really honest about the choices that we're making. And if you've educated yourself on those things, you've read those articles and you're still uncomfortable, we will continue the conversation, and we will continue to work hard to earn people's trust. But we believe that this is the solution that helps us keep cheaters out of the game, which I think is what ultimately we really want, to keep this game really competitive. So, but we understand. I mean, I empathize with people who feel uncomfortable with this. I hope that they'll come around to trusting that what we're doing in a really safe way, and we're doing it for the good of the game.
Guys, thanks for joining us and talking so honestly and transparently with the community as you have been about your plans for the game. We'll see you online on June 2nd.
Pues ya estaría. Pues ya estaría. Mikael, ¿estás ready? ¿Te corto y te paso el mando o qué?
Sí, no vamos a hablar nada de lo que acabamos de ver. Directamente voy al programa y ya está.
Sale el día 2, lo cual me parece como bastante pronto, no te voy a engañar. Pero también te digo que el juego tenía pinta de beta mis cojones. Alfa mis cojones, beta mis cojones, ¿sabes? Y menos para lo que estamos acostumbrados, porque estamos acostumbrados a unas betas un poco bastante peores que esto. O sea, la beta de Valorant ya le gustaría a la mitad de los juegos release salir como ha salido la beta de Valorant, ¿vale? Entonces, no tengo tampoco nada más llamativo, porque además no hemos visto nada, simplemente ha sido un anuncio que vamos a tener un agente, un modo
A
y poco
ver,
más.
sí,
Y un mapa nuevo.
a mí lo que me llama la atención es la última parte, los últimos 5 minutos han hablado del sistema antitramposos que tiene Valorant, que accede al kernel como Pedro por su casa, y han dicho pues que sí, que están al corriente y tal de eso, que hay gente que no le gusta. El Kev le ha dicho, es que hay gente que le tiene mucho amor a su ordenador, ¿sabes? Es como rollo, habrá que encontrar una especie de equilibrio entre... No hay que encontrar ningún equilibrio. El kernel no lo toques, móntatelo como quieras, pero el kernel no lo toques, o por lo menos yo pienso que el kernel no lo debía de tocar nada que no fuera cosas que deben de ir en el kernel, y menos un videojuego, y menos un sistema antichetos de un videojuego. Y la chica ha dicho que están al corriente, que son muy transparentes, pero que todos queremos que los chetos estén fuera del juego, claro, todos lo queremos, pero sin hacerse al kernel, señora.
¿Tú qué prefieres?
Soy muy fan suya. Yo que no toco en el kernel. Yo soy muy fan de esta mujer porque tiene un X-Wing y tiene un TIE Fighter ahí detrás, enormes, que me maravillan. El otro tiene una llave espada. Ya está un poco crecidito para esas cosas. Pero yo quiero que no toquen el kernel. A mí el kernel no me lo toques.
Pero si te tuvieran que tocar el kernel para asegurar que no haya ni un cheto.
Que no toquen el kernel. Si le pusieran una pistola
¿Tú
a
prefieres?
mi primogénito y le dijeran, te toco el kernel o disparo, le diría, usa esta escopeta. No me toques el kernel. No me toques el kernel.
Pero aunque no te vayan a hacer nada.
Sí, que no. Y yo no voy a jugar a Valorant. Yo no soy un jugador de Valorant. Pero me da miedo que ahora llegue Riot con el buen rollo que tiene, que sí, que son transparentes. Y en Full HP lo hemos hablado muchas veces. Ya le gustaría a muchas empresas ser tan transparentes como lo es Riot, ¿ok? Pero no me gustaría que se popularizase esto de que es que la única solución es acceder al kernel. Hostia, pues yo diría que en Valorant hay chetos. Mucho kernel y muchas mierdas. Entonces, por favor, no accedas al kernel, ¿vale? Esto ojalá pase de moda, esto de querer acceder al kernel para evitar los chetos. No accedes al kernel. Porque pueden pasar cosas muy feas.
Vale. Pues yo me iba a marchar. No tengo nada más. No tengo nada más. Han dicho que lo están mirando y tal, o sea que... A mí, yo como no entiendo de máquinas, pues no entro. Entiendo que si hay buena voluntad, pues da un poco igual. O sea que, ya ves tú, no tengo mucho problema. Eh, no sé qué más iba a comentar.
Bueno, ha puesto un tuit Ricardo Caix diciendo que Valorant tendrá servidor propio en Madrid.
Sí, bueno, en nota de prensa han enviado que Valorant tendrá servidor propio en Madrid, en varias regiones. Así que ahí tenéis la información. Y poco más, creo, ¿no? Yo creo que tampoco tengo mucho más que comentar al respecto. En breve tendréis la información en la web. Posiblemente hagamos alguna entrevista por ahí a gente responsable y tal. Así que si tenéis alguna pregunta que le podemos hacer, os lo iremos diciendo. Y poco más. La noticia bien, el problema es que la información... no había información, ¿sabes? Ese ha sido el único. No ha habido nada, no ha habido nada visual, no ha habido nada visual, ¿vale?
Le pasa a todos estos eventos sorpresa de... Bueno, y no tan sorpresa. El primero que vimos también son cosas como que son pequeños detalles de información. Esto del Summer Game Fest, poco más, ¿eh? Estos anuncios que hacen.
Sí, sí,
son pildoritas, ¿no?
Estos primeros anuncios son un poco así, sí. Sí que es verdad. Sí. Te dejo, Micael, ¿lo tienes ready?
Sí.
Venga, gracias a todos, chicos, sois guapísimos. Voy a ver la gente que se ha suscrito, que lo quiero mencionar. Copyright, que se acaba de suscribir ahora mismo. Sir Penas, New Rafa, Arctic W, Nightbreed, Jesus BC, Nex666 y poco más. Así que, bueno, mucha gente más hoy, pero más en otro momento. ¿Pero qué esperaba? Estaba anunciado como reveal y entrevista. ¿Qué esperaba? No es lo que esperaba. Yo no esperaba nada, pero simplemente, pues, es lo que hay. Y no han dicho reveal entrevista. Bueno, sí, y un day of announcement, sin más. No esperaba nada, pero no. Con lo que me han dado, puedo opinar lo que puedo dar. No hay más misterio. ¿Te has planteado alguna vez crear un Twitch específico solo para Full HP? ¿Crees que sería mejor o peor? Sería tan extremadamente peor que no te lo puedes ni imaginar. No te lo puedes imaginar, porque hay gente que se suscribe a este programa. Mira, por el mero hecho de que las suscripciones en un canal nuevo valdrían mucho menos, No tal. Y que hay emoticonos que querría la gente aquí, que quiere la gente de aquí o lo que sea. Entonces, no, sería una idea horrible. Además que Full HP dura lo que dura. No, normalmente no es mucho impedimento. O sea que, tontería. Tontería, creo que es tontería. Ahora, Miguel, te dejo tranquilo. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.